All right, so this is Ron with Wildflowers, and I am talking to Pat in Thailand. Pat, how's it going, man?
What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Yo, it's going great. I'm actually in Vietnam.
Vietnam,
Right now.
nice.
It's been awesome. I've been here for 2 months.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
And so, how did you get to Vietnam? Where'd you go? Where were you before that?
So I was in Thailand. I lived in Chiang Mai, northern Thailand. It's a cool little city in northern Thailand in the mountains. And I lived there for 3 months, and then I went to Laos, and then Hanoi, and then to
Nice.
Vietnam, and
So-
Hanoi for 2 months.
Sweet. So actually, it's kind of a funny story. We hung out not too long ago, maybe about about 8 months ago. You came
Yeah,
through
yeah.
St. Louis, hitchhiking across the country, right?
Yeah, man, that was awesome. It seems like so long ago. I don't know, it's crazy. But I cruised through St. Louis. You picked me up by the arch.
Yeah, fun stuff.
And I had my backpack and everything.
Yeah, man. Good times. So could you kind of explain how you sort of got started traveling and living a mobile lifestyle?
Yeah. So it all started. I was working as a graphic designer in an office. I was doing 9 to 5 life, and I just absolutely hated having to stay in the office just because I had to. I was in that time frame.
Right.
And, even when I was done with my work, I still had to be in the office and just sit there. And I just didn't like. I looked around the office often, and when I wasn't feeling motivated, which was all the time, and I looked at everyone else, and they all seemed so motivated and working diligently, and I didn't feel that way, and I thought something was wrong with me. But after just like taking that leap and kind of relying on myself and kind of going into the entrepreneurial lifestyle out here, I realized it wasn't me. It wasn't my fault or anyone else's fault. It was just I wasn't doing the right thing. And
Right, it didn't feel right.
I'm just not made for that type of living, and I felt something deep within me, and so I acted on it, and I ended up selling 95% of my stuff. I had everything that I owned in a backpack. I put it in a backpack, and I hitchhiked across the United States from Florida to California. And then on the way, I was kind of dabbling in freelance graphic design here and there.
And that's sort of how you sustained yourself while you were on the road?
Yeah, I saved a small amount of money, but to keep doing this, I've been doing this for 10 months now, just traveling.
I was gonna ask. It's almost a year now, right?
Yeah, man. I left in July of last year. And,
It's epic.
It's been a wild ride.
Nice, man. So what would you say sort of was the inspiration that kind of pushed you over the edge to sort of say, all right, I'm gonna do this?
Yeah, it was really like I said, like that feeling within me of just, I don't know, the plan to hitchhike across the state just kind of came out of nowhere. And I mean, I had hitchhiked before, but this was just an elaborate way to kind of, and it also gave me a really cool reason to quit my job. It was just like,
I'll say, right?
I'm not gonna just quit my job and then go work at like Home Depot.
Right.
I'm gonna quit my job, sell all my stuff, and hitchhike across the states. And it all came really natural after a while. Like even selling my items, I'd be at work and I wouldn't be working, and I would just be like thinking about what I was gonna throw away next. I was so excited about that, and so it was really just, I didn't see staying at my job, my 9 to 5 job, as an option anymore. And I think, you really just have to get to that point where it's just like, dude, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So
That's sort of like where we came to as well, and it's a very liberating feeling getting rid of all your stuff, 90, like you said, 95% of your stuff. Really all you have is a couple clothes and whatever it is. And yeah, man, I can definitely see how that can definitely be liberating.
Back at like pictures or videos, saw a picture of like my room a while ago, and I just saw all this stuff, and it looks, I just can't imagine living with all that now.
Right.
And that's just not something you're going to realize until you actually take that leap and get rid of all your shit.
Right. And it's kind of, and I mean, you really wouldn't be able to sustain this sort of, traveling nomadic lifestyle, carrying all that stuff with you all the time, And a lot of people, I think, find that I think that might be some of the, like, part of the scariest part of getting up and going.
Yeah, it is. I totally understand. Like, I mean, I was very hesitant to, I had like skate magazines from when I was 13 or something, and I just would rationalize why I needed to keep them.
Right.
And something as simple as those things will literally keep you from it. You don't think about it, but it really keeps you locked down if that's an issue. And I mean, yeah, like now in the United States, we have the storage industry where it's $1 billion industry of warehouses where people just like buy out space and they
store their stuff to collect dust, right?
And it's not like it's really too crazy or anything. I did that too.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm above that. I was there, and but now I just have everything in a bag. And yeah, like you said, like you can't. It's not just a philosophical thing. It's just not practical. You can't have a lot of stuff with you when you're traveling.
Right.
And that's also a really cool aspect of traveling. You buy something, like I buy something, and then I have to get rid of something else.
Right.
You got to keep that down.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a kind of a good philosophy to go about it too. Is like, if you're going to be taking on something, you have to be giving something away too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Awesome. So, what would you say has been the most rewarding part of this experience?
So many things. I mean, just the fact that 10 months ago, I don't know.
You're living a different life.
It doesn't seem like 10 months ago. It seems like a lifetime ago because every month, every week, I don't know where I'm going to be, Well, I mean, most often, I don't know where I'm going to be in the next, like, 2 weeks or a month. And I'm in different places. I'm doing different things. I mean, I'm grinding a lot. I'm doing a lot of work.
Right. That's awesome.
But it's just not one of the aspects of my life that I was not too excited about before was that I could basically plan out the rest of my, like, 6 months in advance.
Right.
I could probably predict what I was going to do. I would still be in the office. I would still be working. I would still go and get drunk with my friends on the weekends. It was very predictable, so I didn't want predictability. I got it.
Right. Comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, man. So many realizations. Like, just people have so much, I mean, I don't know, just the potential. Just I've been able to do, and it's not anything too amazing, but, like, it just makes me realize just getting over these challenges. Hitchhiking across the states, I thought I couldn't be able to do it. I did it, and then living in Hawaii and then moving out to Southeast Asia, just overcoming these things, like you really realize that not only you, but so many people are capable of so much. We just have to get out of our own way and let ourselves do it.
Right. Totally agree, man. So, what have you learned after taking this leap into living this sort of lifestyle that you wish you knew before you actually took that leap?
That's kind of like that question where, like, that gets asked to people, like, oh, do you have any regrets or things you would do differently? But I don't know. I don't think I mean, I try to make videos and stuff that will help people with that. Like the things I struggled with before I started. I try to make the videos that would have really helped me if you were starting. Like
Right.
Like, whoa, this is great. Man, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of too many things. I really came across the right information, the right people, right influences, and
well, I mean, that's a good point in itself because I mean the resources are out there, it's really about people taking the initiative to trying to find those. And with the internet today, I mean, it's incredibly easy to find all sorts of inspiration and ways to live this lifestyle, you know.
It's also really hard in a sense because there is so many things on the internet. There's
True.
so much. Everyone's on the internet. There's so much distractions.
Yeah.
I think it's really not about adding in things to your life. It's about cutting out the stuff that doesn't mean anything to you. And I think, if anything, that would be my advice. And what really helped me was cutting out the stuff, the items that get in your way.
Right.
Take up space in your brain.
TV, for example.
Cutting out TV is huge. That's such a distraction. Cutting out mindless stuff, even on YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
And but there's also a lot of good stuff on YouTube. So it's also about
balance.
I'm on YouTube all the time. It's also about curating what you let into your head, and you know, you got to make some sacrifices too. Like when I was saving up money, I just didn't go out a lot because I had to save money, and I would say no a lot more to some of my friends, and
yeah, for sure.
That starts working out your muscle of just being able to say no. Like I can't do that. I have to do what serves me and what serves my goals. So whatever your goal is, it's important to just, you know, and it doesn't have to be hitchhiking across the state selling your stuff. It can be anything. Just cutting out the information and content that you take in, that you sponge in as a human. That's what's gonna help you. I think it's more about some subtraction and not addition.
Right. Yeah, totally agree, man. So I know you mentioned that you were doing freelance design as you were sort of hitchhiking. So how are you able to sort of sustain this lifestyle now at the point that you're at?
Let me give it like a rundown of what, because you know, there's the hitchhiking aspect. So I hitchhiked across the states, and I flew to Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 3 months, and then I worked on a farm out there, and then I flew out to Southeast Asia. And I've been in Southeast Asia for 6 months, traveling around and kind of just settling down and focusing on work and stuff. But so your question was, how am I able to sustain that now?
Right.
Yeah, really, just I wouldn't be able to sustain it in many other places in the world other than like Southeast Asia, maybe Eastern Europe, maybe Central America, places where the cost of living is cheaper, less expensive than Western
civilization, right?
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do this anywhere else, and that's a big thing about being out here, where, you know, your meals are $1, $2 a plate. So yeah, that's a good thing about. I mean, I encourage any entrepreneur, anyone, not even an entrepreneur, or just a creative who has just kind of like entrepreneurial goals, maybe. Come out to Southeast Asia, go to Central America, or save up some money, and then live out there for a little bit and work on your shit. Just work on your stuff, and you're gonna get that breathing room to be able to not have clients for a little bit and be able to still get by because you saved up money because you're out in Southeast Asia where it's inexpensive.
Right.
You're gonna get that inspiration, that constant inspiration from being in a different place, being in a different culture, and because
it's sort of like you're having, you know, new senses that are sort of being, you know, turned on because there's new things around you everywhere, you know.
Yeah, out here in Hanoi, for example, like I rarely smell smells that I used to smell in the United States. It's like a subtle thing, but everything like And there's also a lot of aspects of this place that are kind of similar to the States, but, you know, just being in a different place, that's going to get you really fucking creative. And when you have your back to the wall, too.
Right.
When I came out to Thailand, I had $1,000. And I basically had to get to Thailand, find a place, and hustle and grind it out, or else I would go home. So it's like back to the wall, either go big or go home in that sense. Like, so you have to do it. You have to make it happen. And when you have to make something happen, that's when I think humans are most creative. They have no choice.
Right. So since you've been on the road, what's, I guess, one thing that you could not be able to survive without?
That's a good question. My MacBook.
Okay.
What I'm talking to you right now. For real, I have a bag. You know, just this bag. All JanSport bag, and I just put my laptop in it, and my little mouse and my writing pad, and
you're
I
good to go.
have that with me. Yeah, I have that with me like 90% of the time.
Nice.
Working a lot out here, and if I had this taken from me, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I would have to hustle and get a new computer, but yeah, it's huge. This is my bloodline. It's been
and I think that's a thing with, and that's kind of a cool thing about deciding to live this sort of lifestyle now, is that it's at the tip of your fingers. I mean, anybody with a computer and the internet, and like you said, an entrepreneurial spirit, can really decide to pursue this lifestyle and be successful at it. I mean, is yourself as an example.
Yeah, and if you don't identify yourself as too much of an entrepreneur, and you're just a creative person, head in the clouds, you still want to do something like this. If you come out to Southeast Asia and you back to the wall, like I said, and you have to make it happen, you will become an entrepreneur eventually, and I think you'll start to enjoy it, and you're gonna have to make money and stuff. So if you need that kick in the ass and that motivation, yeah, I mean, that's huge. And yeah, like you said, with the internet and computers and laptops, you could be anywhere. The time is now to get on this, because it's getting more and more popular, and the people who are doing it right now are still the early adopters.
Yeah.
But I really see in the future, 10, 20 years down the line, not many people working in offices
Oh,
anymore.
for sure. I think people are slowly already starting to, open their eyes and see that this sort of, this lifestyle is easily accessible if you're ready to take on, the challenge of it mentally.
Yeah, and that's also encouraging as well, because it shows that, no matter what you're doing, you could probably transfer it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you couldn't transfer, if you're a mechanic or something, but
right.
You could, if you have skills, everyone has some skills that you could transfer to a computer and make some sort of money online.
Right.
Certain skills might take more hustle or whatever, but I really think if you dig deep within yourself and just truly think about your skills and maybe work on building up a skill that you could transfer to making money online, you could totally make it happen.
Yeah. Yep. It's the
If
truth, man.
If that's anything you see from what I've been doing, it's that, take that.
Right, because you've sort of taken your skills as a designer and sort of utilized that to keep yourself afloat, right?
Yeah, totally. Designer and doing some video editing and stuff. So yeah, man.
Sweet. So this is kind of a funny question, but so if there was a soundtrack to your life right now, what song would be playing?
Oh, that's a great question. And I have it. It's pretty crazy, but I actually have one song that I literally been jamming out to.
Let's hear it.
And it totally is what I'm all about right now. Yeah, it's I Wasn't Born to Follow by The Birds.
Nice.
The Birds, BYRDS.
Yeah.
The 60s,
Oh
70s.
yeah, dude. I know the Birds, man. They did a adaptation of Bob Dylan's Mr. Tambourine Man. I like Bob Dylan's version better, but yeah, I know the Birds.
Yeah, they did a bunch of adaptations of Bob Dylan's
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
actually.
Oh
And,
yeah.
I mentioned that I saw this video and I saw this song and I was like, whoa, this song is awesome. And I told my parents about it and they're like, yeah, the Birds were huge.
Your parents knew before you, man.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
That's awesome.
Pretty good, bro. So yeah, now I never really got into too big into 60s, 70s music, but this song specifically is just totally
Sweet, man.
It's awesome. I love it. Free spirit kind of thing.
So what to you, how is, sort of the lifestyle that you're living specifically sort of sustainable as far as the earth is concerned? How is it sort of giving back? Because I know that when I spoke to you last, I remember you mentioning, now that you don't have any of these things, you don't live in a house specifically in one place all the time, you've greatly decreased your carbon footprint, things like that. How is, the way that you're living now sort of sustainable in that manner?
Yeah, it's very sustainable compared to what I was doing before, and that's not it's honestly, I'll be honest with you, it's not a big concern of mine. It's just what happens when you kind of take on this lifestyle. You just do things you don't have as much stuff. You don't have as much clothes, so that means not as
No
much.
car, no gas.
No car, yeah, I don't have a car. I don't have a car. I don't even have health insurance.
Nice.
No car. I walk everywhere, and I tend to travel to cities and settle down in cities where you can make that possible. You can just walk.
So
I just walked at my cafe.
So by doing that, you're also contributing and sort of supporting a lot of local businesses there in the countries that you're visiting and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, I'm at a cafe. It's not like a Starbucks or anything. It's just, a Vietnamese cafe here that someone started up. And yeah, there's not too many. The cool thing about Vietnam that I've noticed is that there's a lot of, it's a communist country, but there is still like this capitalist spirit where like I meet people all the time my age, men, women. I meet a lot of women who have just started like cafes or started their own businesses. Men who've started their own businesses. Young people out here and that are doing great. And I go there and I eat or I just buy their stuff
and I think another interesting aspect of that too is how has this sort of affected your cost of living? Because, with no car, no health insurance, no rent, you're eating locally. I'm sure this has greatly decreased your cost of living. And I think that's another thing, if you could touch on that, I think that's another thing that can really motivate people, because I think the cost of it all is sort of where a lot of people get hung up, because it's like, well, how do I do this? And I think that a lot of people don't consider the cost of living as such a detrimental thing to your finances. When you greatly decrease that, you can sustain yourself for quite a long time,
Big time. Yeah, big time. I was living in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And on my YouTube channel, you can watch the video tour of my apartment. It was under $100 a month. And I just filmed this video tour I was just like, okay, I just want to show people how I'm living out here. And I uploaded it to YouTube, not thinking, and now it has 22,000 hits.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
The most popular video on my channel. And I don't even like the video that much. I put all this thought and this work into these other videos, and this video got 5,000 views in a day. And all the other videos on my channel at that time hadn't even reached 5,000, and they'd been up for like 6 months. I was like, what the hell, man? People just wanted to see that. People saw this title as like this cheap $80 per month apartment in Thailand, and people love that.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of people, I think the reason why it got so big was people, even in the comments, people were like, this isn't real. People don't think that that's a possibility. And I think a lot to blame for it is like the whole travel agency aspect of travel, where you pay for the expensive tour or something. People see that, and
right. It also depends on what you want to do as well. What sort of experiences you want to have.
Yeah, like you can travel and you can make it expensive, totally.
Right.
But on the other end of the spectrum, you can make it very, very cheap. And I've been living. My income. People like hit me up on YouTube. They're like, dude, how do you make all this money to travel? I'm just like, dude, I make at my current rate, I probably make $15,000 a year.
But because your cost of living so low, that really stretches.
Yeah, totally. I don't need to I'm not paying for health insurance. I'm not paying for car insurance. I'm not paying for renter's insurance. I'm not paying for insurance of any kind, which, rent. Yeah. Rent. Yeah. My rent was $400 a month in Orlando, and that's really good for where I was at in Orlando. But, if I just had that $400 here, that could stretch very far.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Awesome. So what about this year? So what do you got going on this year that you're kind of excited about? What are your sort of plans or ideas that you have in your head that you kind of want to pursue, or next steps, I guess?
Yeah, I've actually got a pretty big next step coming in 3 days here. I'm actually moving back to the USA. I'm moving to Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
I've been away from the States for 6 months now. Headed to Los Angeles. I've got this job opportunity with the company.
Nice.
And I'll be doing video editing, filming, and just it's in alignment. The company, what they do, is very in alignment with what I'm passionate about and
Yeah.
my life goals and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if you could take anything, also another thing is like I'm out here in Southeast Asia. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm working on stuff I do, and also learning what I really want to do with my life. So that's helped me find opportunities that are going to really get way more aligned with that. So this opportunity is one of those things. And
nice, man. Well, congrats. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so I'll be in LA for 2 months, and then possibly moving with the company to Canada. So
man.
And you know the company they have, you know, it's travel aspect of the company as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you know you come out to Southeast Asia and you do this entrepreneurial thing and you do this freelancing, and you're like, man, I don't know how long I want to be able to like doing this solo freelancing thing. You have that, you know, that living, that breathing space when you're out in Southeast Asia to be able to look for opportunities elsewhere and to do a lot of introspection and see what you want to do.
Right.
With your life. Because, you know, 9-to-5 life in the United States and all the distractions that come along with that, paying rent, all the insurance, TV, all your stuff that you have, those are, oh man, they distracted me so much from just listening to myself.
Right, and they kind of just like stack up without even realizing too, you know?
Yeah, being alone, which people are like, what people, you've been solo traveling for 10 months now, isn't that lonely? And I'm just like, fuck yeah, it's lonely, and that's not a bad thing at all.
Right.
If you listen to yourself, you get to listen to yourself and really, you know, and you're not doing things based on what a boss tells you, so
right.
you're really listening to yourself and taking these actions that you really want to do and working out that muscles of your intentions. So it's huge. It's great.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's exciting, man. That's really exciting.
I'm super excited.
So, yeah, right. I'm sure that'd be kind of it'd be a nice homecoming though in some aspects.
Surrounded by white people, man.
That's funny, man. So yeah, I mean, I guess what do you got going on after this call to kind of wrap this up? What do you got going on today?
I have another Skype call a little later, and then just working on some stuff, some design work, and my last 3 days here in Hanoi and Vietnam, Southeast Asia. So kind of time, you know, sleep in and getting ready to fly back 18 hours to the States.
That's a long flight, man.
It's 2-hour flight and then layover and then like a 14-hour flight. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, cool, man.
I'm loading up on audio.
You're downloading all your playlists.
Yeah, dude, getting ready for it. So.
Well, that's awesome, man. So yeah, we're actually gonna be here in Colorado for the next about month, and then we don't really know where we're going. So it's looking sort of like it might be the Northwest, but you know, California is an option. So, dude, like if we're headed your way, we'll definitely let you know, man.
Yeah, dude, I'll be in LA. So that'd be great to link up.
For sure, dude.
For sure.
Well, all right. Well, this is Ron and Pat talking. If you want to check out his website at truetransient.com, that'd be great. He's got great content there. Please check it out. And Pat, man, we'll definitely keep in touch, bro.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, dude.
All right, man. Talk to you later.